Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 17 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. If you haven't caught the top 8 or the top 4 match analyses, which I uploaded earlier today and yesterday, definitely go check them out. They are linked in the description below. I'm just going to keep using my Oregon Regionals team for a little bit longer before I make a new team. Tomorrow I'll be uploading the finals with the match analysis from Oregon Regionals, and then I'll be uploading the team analysis and the QR code on Mondays. So, you know, I've been trying to push out some extra content, kind of to make it up to you guys since I missed out on 2 weeks or so. I think it was like just around last week. And so, yeah, it's really good to be back on YouTube, and I'm really trying to be a little bit more consistent. So, as always, if you guys enjoy Road to Rank, please share support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. We're going to find our first opponent of the day, Aubrey from Virginia, with a rating in the 1600s, running a team of Metagross, Tapu, Koko, Tapu Fini, Porygon 2, Arcanine, and Mudsdale. So, a pretty interesting team here. You know, it's definitely got a Trick Room kind of component to it with Porygon and Mudsdale. Metagross, Fini, and Arcanine are kind of slow Pokemon too. And then you've got the Tapu Koko, which is like the real speedy member of that team. So, normally I like going Drifloon Lele. I'm not sure if that's actually the best option here. It still's probably decent, to be honest, though, because of the pressure that I put on. Garchomp's really good here, especially if I can get an SD off. Metagross is tempting, but I don't think I'm going to bring it. I'm probably going to go Drifloon, Lele, Kartana, Garchomp, I think. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that makes a ton of sense. I think you could probably make a case for Lele, Kartana, but then that actually struggles against Fini, Arcanine. Or you could go Garchomp, Kartana, but I really don't want Trick Room to go up. So I'm actually going to still bring Drifloon here because it still puts on some pressure with Garchomp and Kartana, I think. Arcanine is a Pokemon I really want to bring here, but it suffers immensely against Fini and Mudsdale, especially because I don't have Wild Charge. And Metagross is tempting here, especially if I can like get an Explosion off, but I'm not going to bring it. I don't know about my Pokemon choice for this one, though. Like, I think my opponent... I'm not the most fond of this matchup. Tapu Fini can be a problem too, especially because I don't have like Assault Vest, so I can't even switch in safely into, say, special type attacks. But we're gonna get into this one. Let's see what my opponent brings out. Trying to continue the win streak with this team so far. It's gonna be, ooh, Koko and Arcanine. Okay, that's like probably the best, I guess, that I could have asked for, because I get my terrain up. I guess, yeah. I mean, it's good, but it's also, like, still kind of scary, because I don't know what kind of set Arcanine is. And Arcanine's faster than Lele. As crazy as it seems, I might actually Tailwind here and Protect. Out of fear of a Z move, my opponent could double up in a Lele. Like, most likely Drifloon faints here, but if Tailwind goes up, since these Pokemon are actually relatively fast, I'm not as worried about the Trick Room component anymore. So I will just Tailwind and Protect. I could have Destiny Bonded and, like, Psychicked here. But Tapu Lele is really important in this matchup, and with Psychic Terrain up, I can potentially one-shot either of these Pokemon. And if Arcanine is offensive with a Life Orb or Fire MZ, then Lele can get one shot here, and I don't want to take that risk right now. So my opponent most likely is going to want to double up in a Drifloon with like a Volt Switch and a Flare Blitz or something, but I'm okay losing Drifloon if it means getting Tailwind up, because then I apply pressure going into turn 2. And if Drifloon flames, that's a free switch in for me. So yeah. Koko can be scary to deal with still, though, because if, like, with Garchomp in the back, like, Dazzling Gleam does a lot. No switch outs, but we could see a Volt Switch. So Lele is just going to Protect, and I will get my Tailwind up, which is good. With Taunt on Lele, hopefully I can just deny Trick Room outright in this game. Thunderbolt. Nice! Into Protect. And Flare Blitz. Excellent. That's exactly what I was hoping for. That's super good for me now. So, let's see. I'm definitely more concerned about the Arcanine. So I'm actually going to double up into that slot this turn. Because if Arcanine is offensive, or if it's bulky, it could actually take a Psychic and I'll proc its Berry. Koko can Thunderbolt either of my Pokemon, but that's not too much of a concern. Arcanine can Protect and Koko could switch out, but then my opponent applies less pressure the following turn, and I can double up into the Arcanine slot again. Nothing on my opponent's team can switch into a Shadow Ball and a Psychic combination. So I went for the safe play turn 1, it worked out. Hopefully I can apply some pressure now that I have Tailwind up. But I do walk into the Protect, which is pretty bad. That's not good. But, given that he went for Flare Blitz, I really don't know what kind of Arcanine set that is, that's a concern. Okay, good play by my opponent. So going for the Z move, that's actually probably going to go into Drift Bloom, which does mean a free switch him, but if I just Psychic Koko this turn, it would have been so good. Let's see, who is the target? Oh, it's a Lele, actually. I should survive that. Yeah, nice, I do survive that. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna double into Arcanine again here, I think. That's unfortunate. If I called that last turn correctly, I would have been in a really good position. But he stays in, okay, which is good. The reason why I'm so scared of Arcanine is because I've got that Cortana in the back, so I'd like to eliminate that. But yeah, I think actually a Psychic would have just knocked it out. It seems to be rather offensive, so I could have Shadow Balled Koko, but that's fine. As Lele here will faint from a Thunderbolt, most likely. Yeah. Turn 1 was really good, turn 2 was really not that good. Maybe I should have covered my options, I guess, and just Psychic and Shadow Ball different slots. I'm gonna bring in Garchomp now, because obviously I can just Earthquake Pressure, but I'm afraid of Porygon coming in right now. That would be really bad. And it's likely it is Porygon. Yeah, I didn't play this well. I should have conserved Lele better. And I also wasn't expecting Electrum Z, especially because it didn't come out turn 1. I don't like my position at all. Tailwind. It's one more turn. I mean, I could just Shadow Ball EQ. I think Koko probably protects here. Yeah. And Porygon, I would Ice Beam. I'm running out of time. This is bad. I Will-O-Wisp Earthquake? That play doesn't make much sense. I'm just gonna Will-O-Wisp the Koko slot, too. Okay, maybe I'm not out of it yet with Metagross coming in. Trick Room could go up. I really wish I... Yeah, I was gonna Shadow Ball Earthquake the Koko slot to cover a switch out, but I didn't. That's a bad play. Good damage, at least. Yeah. If my opponent didn't Trick Room, I actually just would have won the game out right there, because then I can just Tectonic Rage Porygon Shadow Ball. So, good Trick Room play. But I'm not out of it yet. Because Koko's actually faster in the back. So I'm going to Shadow Ball Metagross. And I'm going to just Tech Rage Porygon here, because Ice Beam won't knock me out. And Metagross protects! As long as he doesn't freeze or crit, I'm good. Wait. Oh, he might be invested in Special Attack. That's probably the case. That's definitely a damage roll, though. Yeah, he didn't get the attack increase, right? Or Special Attack increase. So, if Garchomp hung on there, which he should have had a decent chance to, because Porygon did get the attack increase, I believe. Yeah, I'm guessing my opponent's Porygon has some special attack investment. Even with some special attack investment, Garchomp still has a good chance of surviving, unless it's like a ton of special attack investment. So that's definitely unfortunate, but oh well. I probably lose the game there. If I survive, Tech Rage knocks out Porygon, and then I think I just win the game. From there, because Koko under Trick Room obviously isn't that great, but now I'm not too sure about my chances. Yeah, I guess I'll just Shadow Ball. The question is, do I protect Cortana here? I think I kind of have to. Do I have to? I'm hoping my opponent like is really scared of Cortana and doubles up into I can Shadow Ball to knock out Metagross. Ice Beam. Okay, that's good. Nice. Alright, so we're still in this then. Somehow. Ah, man, yeah, my Garchomp should have enough. It has, like, some HP and special defense, but it means that, like, 0 special attack, or 4 special attack Porygon never KOs. So there's gotta have... That Porygon has to have some special attack investment, but Koko will come back in now. Let's see. Ice Beam. So the main issue, I might need a critical hit here onto Koko. Because the main issue is my Drifblim doesn't win against Porygon. And if you're my opponent, you just Ice Beam Thunderbolt Cortana right now. I guess Leaf Blade could also just outright knock out Koko depending on its investment. Yeah, I guess I will just double up into Koko here. Actually, my opponent's Koko could just protect. Okay, it doesn't protect. Yeah, Leaf Blade crits. It still comes down to the next turn. It doesn't get the crit. Unless he T-bolted Drifblim. Yeah, okay. Good play. That was the correct play. I can't be too sad about this loss. Like, Garchomp survives that Ice Beam most of the times, and even if it is, like, special attack invested Porygon, I still have a decent chance. I mean, now it's... I think even with Destiny Bond, I lose. Yeah. Although I do want to know the mechanics. I mean, my opponent can just recover forever, too. Yeah, there's, like, literally nothing I can do to touch this Porygon. Well played. If I crit there, I win the game, so, like, I still had some out there. But alas, that was not the case. Yeah, because if I Destiny Bond, I feint first, and then my opponent feints, but... I guess it would still be kind of a... Oh, unless Trick Room... No, even if Trick Room is up, I still feint, because it's not based off speed, I think. So yeah, I literally cannot do anything. And my opponent's going to recover to be smart. I'll play it out just to confirm the Destiny Bond mechanic works the way it does, because that was actually something I was unsure of. But... yeah, I was really surprised Metagross protected that turn. I guess to protect it from a Shadow Ball, that makes sense, yeah. But, man. I'm curious how much special attack investment this Porygon has. Maybe it's modest even, I doubt it, but you never know. So, that was, like, I took the risk, I was like, I should survive non-invested. But that wasn't the case. I even get frozen, not that that matters. Because Destiny Bond, like, knocks out both of your Pokemon, but since I'm feint first, I lose the game. Pretty sure. I just wanted to confirm that mechanic, but now I can't even, because I got frozen. RIP. Good game to my opponent. Really well played. Trick Room. I guess. I don't really see much reason for that play. I mean, it makes sense if, like... I don't think there's anything Drifblim can do to stop Trick Room, so you might as well. But... would have made more sense to do that earlier. Either way, it doesn't really matter. I think, how I could have played this better... I mean, that one turn where I just doubled up, like... I got turn 1 played out really well, and then I didn't get the knockout turn 2. Like, if I just Psychicked Koko, like, the game probably would have been just over there, because there was Metagross in the back, which I could burn. I still had Taunt with Lele. Like, basically, Lele took too much damage. And so I committed too hard out of fear of bulky Arcanine, but I shouldn't have done that. And if anything, yeah, I should have maybe just Shadow Balled Koko and Psychic the Arcanine slot to cover for a Protect option, and I didn't do that. And that was probably the biggest misplay. Other than that, I can't be too sad about that. And in the end, if Garchomp survives that Ice Beam, I end up winning the game anyway, I think. So, do I end up winning the game? Let's say Garchomp survives. I pick up the knockout. And then it's Drifblim. Maybe I still lose there, actually. Because then Koko comes in and Electric Terrain is up, so Thunderbolt does more to my Drifblim. And then you could Hammer Arm. I guess I got Protect, Garchomp, Sack. Yeah, it would be really close, actually. So maybe it wasn't like a guaranteed win had I even survived that, but I could have played the beginning better. But our second opponent of the day is going to have Garchomp, Koko, Celesteela, Arcanine, Cortana, and Snorlax. So also kind of scary because this is kind of like those fast teams that if they stall out Tailwind can give me some trouble. But undoubtedly, I'm going Drifblim Lele here. Definitely bringing Chomp here. And for the last one, I'm going to go Arcanine. Because my opponent has 2 Steel types, Flare Blitz plus Extreme Speed knocks out Koko, and I can bulldoze the Garchomp and the Arcanine as well. Cortana would make some sense because there's a Snorlax and Cortana on my opponent's end, but yeah, not the biggest fan of it. And Metagross against Garchomp Koko teams, most of the times you don't really want to bring it. So, gonna get into the second game, gonna try to recover after that last one, but Can't be too sad about how I mean, I am really frustrated about that one turn where I doubled up into Arcanine and it protected. I gambled too much then. I guess I should have played safer. Because the idea is, like, let's say I Psychic into Koko and Shadow... Or Psychic into Arcanine Shadow Ball. You can't knock out both of my Pokemon, so you'd guarantee a free switching into Chomp. Yeah. The biggest thing was Porygon was able to get in when I didn't have 2 offensive Pokemon out at once. That was the main issue. But we see Celesteela and Koko. Okay, that's fine. As I am going to win the Terrain War. That part is important. And... I can just... I'm leaning towards Will-O-Wisp Celesteela and Psychic Koko. Because that covers for pretty much everything. If Koko protects, then I get the Celesteela burn, then I can Tailwind protect next turn. If Koko attacks, which it looks like it's going for, unfortunately I do hit Will-O-Wisp, so missing would be pretty bad. But Celesteela will be burned. Ah, another Z move. Man, we're running into a lot of Z move Kokos today. This is probably targeting Drifloon for the knockout. That's not good. Because I didn't get Tailwind up. I guess I should expect Z move more often now. People are probably using that to counter Drifloon specifically. This time it does go into the Drifloon slot. Maybe I should have just Tailwind protected. I really wanted to eliminate the Koko, but now my Garchomp in my opponent's backside is a concern. Yeah, so I'll knock out Koko, but Celesteela here is probably going to get a heavy slam off. And that's not good either. Yeah. It was not going to knock me out through the burn, but... yeah, I should have Tailwinded. Okay, definitely bringing Garchomp in right now. I can't see my opponent not have brought in my... yeah, there's Garchomp as well. Okay. I think we both have Intimidate RNNs, too. I'm gonna... what am I gonna do? So both of us have Arcanine in the back, both of us could switch into it, so I really have to call this correctly. I would love to SD right now. I really want to. Because I could protect blowing his potential Z move. I'm SDing and switching into Arcanine. I don't know about this one. If Celesteela, like, ideally Celesteela switches out into Arcanine and Garchomp protects. I don't even know if my opponent brought Arcanine here, though. But I went for it. Oh, he just Dragon Claws. I could have just Tech Rage there to win. He's faster, too. That was my other concern. Could be Scarfed. However, my tech of Bulldoze could really be clutch right now. That Dragon Claw also did a lot even after Intimidate. It's not Bandit, is he? I'm gonna protect Bulldoze this turn. If I knock out Garchomp, I win. Okay, that's good. So he had Arcanine. He did have Arcanine, but he just didn't go for it last turn. Oh, please get this Bulldoze off. He could have just Tech Rage into my Arcanine, or he could have protected his Chomp. Nope, Chomp didn't protect. He's not Earthquaking, so he's probably Tech Raging, or Dragon Clawing. Yes! Let's go! Okay. Nice, so I get the Bulldoze off. Wow, did that crit Arcanine? That did so much. Yeah, it did. Okay. Okay. If you're my opponent, though, you switch Garchomp out into Celesteela right now. You definitely do that. So how do I cover the Steela switch-in option? I mean, I could still Tech Rage here, but there's no way my opponent lets me get that off. There's no way, right? The safest place for me to Tech Rage and Flare Blitz that slot, but then I lose my Tech Rage. and give it... I think it's Scarf Chomp. So I'm actually gonna Fire Fang and switch out into Lele to hopefully pick up 2 knockouts in 1 turn. Switch Garchomp out. He didn't switch out? Oh, that means because he's Scarfed. Ah, I even said he was Scarfed. And he still outspeeds me. Ah, that one was rough. Yeah, I mean, normally with Scarf, like, you run, like, admin with some speed, so... But yeah, even still, like, even if I lost, like, even if I were faster, that still would have been bad, because he still knocks me out. Now I just lose, because he can switch out his Celesteela. Like, I can pick up 2 knockouts here, but then he just comes in and Earthquakes for the win. Unless he stays in for some absurdly weird reason. Yeah, it's definitely Scarf Chomp. That's so frustrating, because if I Tech Rage that turn, I would have won, but I was expecting typical, like, normal, Z-move Chomp. But I guess with the Z-move on Koko, I could have deduced that a little bit better. Wow, Steel actually hung on. That's impressive. Yeah, but I can't do anything with Garchomp coming back in and just being able to Earthquake. Well played by my opponent. I'm also really surprised my opponent didn't cover the option of me just Tech Raging and didn't switch into Arcanine. Because that was by far the safest play. Not only do you intimidate me, but you also, because you're Scarf, you know you outspeed me anyway. Steel actually hangs on, because it has leftovers too. Yeah, definitely could have played a lot better in both of the games today. Both of my opponents played quite well, to be honest, as well. And it's just frustrating me, because if I just Tech Raged Garchomp that turn, I would have won. Because my opponent, I was expecting my opponent to capitalize and, like, I don't know. I think if you're my opponent, you should switch into Arcanine just to put yourself in even a better position. Unless I miraculously survive EQ on Tapu Lele, I lose this one. Yeah, so I just, E-Speed Moonblast. Or my opponent misclicks and, like, Rock Slides or something. Definitely very well played by both of my opponents today. And that's one of the things when you run a slightly slower Garchomp. Like, even after the Bulldoze, I was still slower than my opponent's Garchomp. I'm surprised my opponent wasn't scared of that. Because if I just Tech Rage into that slot, then I win the game. My opponent just ended up staying in, going for it. So we actually take 2 losses in a row today, but I don't know, there's a lot to learn from it, and losses are always good too. And that first game really coming down to the wire, just me not making the right play, that one turn. Like, the biggest, I think, mistake that the first game was doubling into the Arcanine slot and wasting a whole turn of Tailwind, and then not preserving, like, allowing Trick Room to go up. And then the issue with the second game was, one, I didn't really expect the Z move from Koko. So if I just Tailwind protected the first turn, I get a free switch into my Arcanine, you know, I'd put on so much pressure, blah, 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 blah. And then, not anticipating Scarf Chomp out of anything, because, yeah, it was... Scarf Chomp you don't see that often, and in best of 3, like, I know exactly what I would do to adjust, but in best of 1, it's kind of tricky. And I just went in for that Swords Dance play that turn, expecting Garchomp to protect and Arcanine to come in, or expecting a... Oh, he couldn't have even Tech Rage there. Ah, that was silly. Yeah. I just realized that. I should have definitely Tech Rage that turn. That was just a bad play on my end. Because he had nothing against me. But, yeah. It's going to be it for this one, guys. I didn't play too great in this episode, but definitely a lot of things to take away from it. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one. As always, leave a like if you did, and I'll catch you guys next time. Alright, peace.